Good day. I'm Primi. I'm a pharmacist and I'll be talking on being a wholesale and distribution pharmacist. This is the name of my company, Medical Supply Sarawak Sdn, and this company is now based in Kuching. So today's presentation, we have a self-introduction, skill sets that are needed, the job challenges and satisfaction to this field, salary and progression, and whether or not I'm happy or do I regret my decision. A little bit of background on me. I was more inclined to science subjects back in school and was interested in meeting and socializing with people. I stumbled upon a means book and got interested in how medication works before choosing my major in university. Now, a means is sort of like a dictionary on how it's actually like a catalog of sorts of how medication works and what's the indication of this medicine. So this catalog got me interested because I felt that the information given was quite intriguing. Back then, there was a market demand for pharmacists, so it was one of the jobs that was highly sought after. And of course, it's actually a profession, so therefore it's a different type of job specs. And also, I was interested in patient counseling. So my qualification is I have a master's degree, a Master of Pharmacy from University of Strathclyde. This is from the twin program with IMU, which is International Medical University, and University of Strathclyde. Basically, Master of Pharmacy in this case is not actually a master degree, but a bachelor degree with honors. That means a 4 years degree will be from the UK. You have a Master of Pharmacy. And then after that, I did my pupillage at a local private hospital. A pupillage is like housemanship, or nowadays they call it PRP, which is Provisionally Registered Pharmacist Training. I have been a registered pharmacist since 2005 and work after 2005 as a hospital pharmacist for a year. I also worked in a company that dealt with both wholesale and community pharmacy for 3 years, and after which I operated an independent pharmacy for 10 years. Currently, I am working in a company that deals with distribution and wholesale of medicines and other medical-related items in Sarawak. I hold the posts of both pharmacist and general manager in the company. I'm also the honorary secretary of the Sarawak Pharmaceutical Society. So what is the skill sets that are needed for this position? We have either academic qualification, the attitude needed, behaviors that are required. So the academic and other prerequisites that you need for this job, you need a minimum bachelor degree in pharmacy. Now the pharmacy must be recognized by the Malaysian Pharmacy Board. Now please do search online because you can find a whole list of universities that are recognized by the Malaysian Pharmacy Board before making a decision on which university you want to choose. If you want to practice anywhere else apart from Malaysia, for other countries, you should find out what is recognized in that country of choice. Now, before another prerequisite for this job that you need to undergo a PRP training, as I mentioned just now, which is a housemanship or pupillage training before registration. And of course, to have this job, you must be a fully registered pharmacist. So why is a pharmacist needed in this field? The Poison Act 1952 regulates the import, possession, manufacture, compounding, storage, transportation, sales, and use of all poisons. All poisons in this case does include medicine. The supply of medicine is heavily regulated and governed under the Poison Act 1952. Under the Section 15, sales of poison by wholesale, it states that no poison shall be sold by wholesale except by a licensed wholesaler in accordance with the terms and conditions of that said license. Now, usually for pharmacies, we have something called the Type A license. The Type A license is usually issued to a pharmacist to import, store, and deal generally by wholesale and retail, or by wholesale only, or by retail only, subject to this Act in all poisons. Therefore, a licensed pharmacist is authorized to sell any poison via wholesale to another licensed person, governed under the terms and conditions of that person's poison license. In summary, you just need a pharmacist to legally supply, process, store, transport, and sell all poisons. Now, what are the skill set needed for the job? So usually you have leadership skills, because usually a pharmacist will be in a managerial role, especially in this kind of setting. You have to be able to lead the team, as that would be the expected scope of manager. You need to conduct corporate training and motivate sales staff and other staff in your company as well. So for that to happen, another thing that we need to have is a communication skill. So one should have good verbal and written communication skill, as well as solid presentation skill and the ability to convey complex information, which is the case because medication is a complex item. We should also do financial management. So therefore, we have to make sure that the company makes a profit. P&L in this case will refer to profit and loss. And you need to do procurement as well as budgeting. And of course, you need to plan and manage the company's performance. What are the attitude and behaviors one should have for being a wholesale pharmacist? You need to be level-headed, especially in solving problems, because there'll be a light crisis. You need to exude confidence, because usually you'll be the one leading, and therefore confidence is one of the key things that you should have for people to believe in you. And you need to be knowledgeable in relevant subject matter. You need to be proactive, because it's a very aggressive industry, especially in wholesale and distribution, and need to be intuitive. So the job challenges and satisfaction. We start with the job challenges. The job challenges of being a wholesale pharmacist, wholesale distribution, or kind of trading, you need to make sure that you can optimize operations and, of course, make a profit. Hence, we call optimization operations and profitability. You need to manage stock inventory and make sure that you don't overstock or understock or not enough stock, or that you have too much or it's going to be expired, because medicine has a shelf life. And of course, we have a lot of regulatory requirements that if you've seen with the Poison Act and other regulatory requirements that are needed to actually supply such sensitive items as a medicine. What's the satisfaction? What sort of satisfaction do you derive from this job? There is a great sense of accomplishment when things go well, and being a part of a team and also leading the team towards a goal. So that gives someone a sense of achievement as well. Now, the summary of the job is that it is extremely stressful now, because it's a highly competitive market and it's heavily regulated. In the time of COVID-19, it would be hard for me to transition to another job. Therefore, I have to be satisfied with this job at the moment. Salary and progression. What is the expected salary for this position? The average current salary range is usually based on your current working experience. As for any managerial role, the estimated salary would reflect this. However, because usually there's only one pharmacist hired for a company, usually a certain number of years of experience would be ideal. The progression. So we have two types of progression. We have the company progression. So the company progression for the wholesale and distributor company would usually be this business development, getting more of the market share. You can actually get accredited. For example, you can get within 5 ads for your premise, or accreditation called GDPMD, whereby you can it's a good distribution of medical devices. GDPMD means good distribution practice medical devices. Now, the progression related to this particular profession and specialty. So we're talking about wholesale distributor company. You can be a corporate and health trainer because you need to train people. Therefore, you will have that. You can get a training to be a corporate and health trainer to train others. You can be a certified auditor or certain type of accreditation that is doable as well. Other stuff that if you want, you can get an MBA, Master's Business Administration degree on top of our pharmacy degree, because I think that will greatly help in managing a sort of trading type of business. So here's the question. Am I happy? That's not a simple answer. We are luckier than most industry, but yet we are limited by a lot of restriction and regulation not to our advantage. That we especially, for example, with like dispensing separation, mandatory prescription, where it is not available in Malaysia. Therefore, pharmacist doesn't have the exclusive right to only distribute medicine. In this particular field, there is a limited pause, as a wholesale and distribution company will seldom hire more than one pharmacist. Simple reasons, just because it's not cost effective to do so. If you want to have more posts, then you'll be usually in the regional office or in the main metropolitan city like Kuala Lumpur. Then there's a possibility of they would actually hire more than one for different departments. So the future of profession is like this one slide that I put here. Now currently, this is the dashboard for here, the below here, you see is actually a dashboard that I actually plug from the local pharmacy government website for registration. So there's about 17,066 registered pharmacists holding the annual certificate, meaning that's actually the one that practicing in Malaysia, serving a population of 33 million. This ratio of 1 to 1,934 people is above most developing nations in the region. However, all the pharmacists in the private sectors are not granted their fundamental professional function to solely dispense doctor prescription. Now, this one will mostly apply to community pharmacy as well as hospital pharmacy. So you will notice here the ratio of private pharmacists compared to government pharmacists. So there's more government pharmacists to private pharmacists. The government is already facing a huge problem in providing the PRP training to this graduate. Furthermore, the government posts for the pharmacists are fully taken up, and the private sectors is actually on the brink of saturation. So these graduates will face the bigger hurdle of finding gainful employment after finishing their PRP year. Unless Malaysia has a major paradigm shift in our current system, unemployment will be the fate of most pharmacy graduates in the coming years. So should you be discouraged to venture on this profession? It depends on your own passion and interests. If you have great interest in chemistry or biology or any of sorts, or if you like patient counseling, or if you like clinical research, you can. We do greatly contribute in maintaining the general health being of the public. There are other job opportunities apart from the conventional perceived job of either community pharmacy or hospital pharmacy. So other related fields like manufacturing, academia, clinical research, veterinary supplies. There's a lot more. So it's best to actually broaden our mind and think outside the box. I think that's all for my presentation for today. If you have any questions and answers, I believe you can actually send it to relevant Edu-Right plus people. Thank you so much.